Okay, we are live. Thank you very much for joining us. Please, as you come in, let us know where you're coming in from and say hello, and we'll flash your details up on the screen. Um, and please hit the like button. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you all had a good one. Liz, how are you doing? How was your
Doing
Christmas?
doing really good. Ready not to have to get food anymore. That would be great. Because that's all anybody does is eat in the holidays, right? Especially in the South. Everybody's just eating, eating, eating. So, and how was your holiday?
Good. Yeah. It was no food pressure, no food pressure here.
That's
Nothing's really
good.
changes for me. And of course, in Japan, Christmas Day
Mhm.
is a normal working day, so just like it's kind of
Mm,
normal here. So yeah,
okay,
yeah, it
that's
was
cool.
good. Yeah, yeah. G'day, Cordelia. How you doing? Um, is it alive? Yes, we are alive.
It's
uh,
a live, yeah.
yeah. Um, And Dustin's saying, no snow here today. Bit of a heat wave, 59 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll have to do a calculation on that, but that doesn't sound particularly hot to me.
No, and I'll tell you what, I am pissed off, I gotta say. I'm pissed off, The one th if you live in Florida, which I lived in Florida for, like, 12 years, okay, you
Mm.
get to take pictures of yourself, like, hanging around in a bikini on the beach and piss all your relatives off that are, like, in up north, right, at Thanksgiving. That's fun, I like doing that, and this is probably karma coming back. And then if you're in the north, like, you get snow and it's fun and pretty and everything. Here, everything's dead, and it was 75 degrees on Christmas Day, and I had to turn my AC on. It's what I call Goldilocks weather, like, it's in the day, it's hot, and at night, it's cold, and then sometimes it's 16 degrees. I mean, just one day out of the year, I would like for it to be cold. We can't ever have a fire. Like, we have a fireplace, we can't have a fire because it'll burn us out, we'll have to have the AC because
Wow.
the ambiance would be nice, and everything's dead outside, so it's not like it's warm and you've got beautiful, greenery and everything. It's like
Mm.
it's not like that. It's just dead, depressing stuff, and then it's also hot, which that's pretty warm. That was kind of disgusting. So that sort of ruined a little bit of the Christmas. It's supposed to
Right,
be
right.
like cold at least, or something. But
But that kind of reminds me of what it's like in Australia at Christmas. It's like
oh yeah.
um, 40 degrees in Melbourne, desert conditions. It's which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's over 100
It's like
degrees
add 30. I
Fahrenheit.
think you add 32 to it, so it's like in the 70s, I guess, right?
Oh no, it's much higher than that.
Much higher than that.
Yeah, yeah. Hang on a
I can't
second. Let
remember.
let let me
I thought you
40.
added 32 to it, but
Yeah,
I
but then you've got to like subtract 5, add a chocolate bar and all that kind of thing. It's
you gotta make
it's
it.
like
Mm,
stand with one foot in the bath and all that kind of thing.
mhm.
104 Fahrenheit.
Oh god, yeah.
So it's like that at Christmas, but people still paint like white snowman and all this kind of thing on their windows for Christmas,
Oh,
and
that's funny.
it's
Yeah.
so it feels a bit weird. But one of the nice things is like for Christmas, you can go and have a champagne breakfast on the beach.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
that's kind of
yeah.
nice.
That was nice
Um,
about Florida, but, here it's like, I wanna see snow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What's that? Yeah, Christmas swims in Australia.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Times 9 divided by 5 plus 32.
There, I knew there was a
So
plus 32 in there
complicated,
somewhere.
right? So complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it'll be in the hundreds in July. Yeah. So like when it's summer, what kind of temperatures does it get to there for you, Liz?
Oh, it's super humid, and we get to the hundreds, like, it hits 100,
Mm-hmm.
not all the time, but it'll stay in the 90s in South Carolina, so it's a lot like Florida. Florida is extremely humid and extremely
Mm.
hot, so it's, good bit of misery, like, in the summertime. But at
Yeah.
least if you live on the ocean, the thing about, like, about coastal regions is that you get the, breeze coming in, so
Right.
that's much better, but you know.
I think the humid for me anyway, the humidity is much harder to deal with than the
Mhm.
heat.
Yeah, definitely. But it
Yeah.
should not be. There's nowhere on this earth that it should be 75 degrees and on freaking Christmas. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
So I was just
True.
like totally pissed off about it. I get in such a bad mood and they're like, oh crap. It's like mom's gonna be pissed again because it's freaking hot on Christmas. It's like, yes, I am. I am. Because last week it was 16 degrees. We had to like cover things up with blankets so that the pipes didn't burst, and leave the water dripping and all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
it's like it was 16 degrees. Why couldn't it just have been? But it never works out that way. It's always warm on Thanksgiving. It's always warm on Christmas for some reason. It's just some kind of curse, I
Okay.
guess. But
Yeah. Um, it's a bacon runner, double order of bacon for breakfast, ran a mile inside, and then had sides and eggs for lunch. Nice.
hmm.
Um, so I should also say, if anyone has any questions or anything you'd like us to discuss, please put a Q in front of the question or discussion point, and we'll get to
Mhm.
that. Um,
Well, you know all the
okay.
big news. You know all the big news, though.
Oh, what's the big news?
Okay, so the big news. It's all about poop, man. It's all about poop. We're talking about poop again.
Okay, okay.
So, because like Carrie Man did a video, okay, and he got
Uh-huh.
like, I don't know, 158,000 views on this video. So,
Right.
about fermented stuff, eat
Oh,
drinking,
okay, okay.
and he's drinking out of a martini glass and it looks exactly like a dirty martini. Looks exactly.
Okay, okay,
So he's got
okay.
like the thumbnail clickbait stuff going on.
Right.
But there's all kinds of like poop discussions now about like, what it's supposed to look like and poop charts and all this kind of stuff. So I had quite a bit of fun with that, of course, because, I am actually 13 years old at heart. So I
Right.
have a lot of fun with the poop stuff, but
So everyone's talking about like Bristol charts and whether it's a number
mm,
one or a number six or
number
whatever,
4
whatever
is
they.
ideal and all that kind of stuff. And so,
That's
hey, he had a doctor on or whatever, but it was very interesting. So all of these people are arguing about fermented stuff, and the thing is like, I don't know what you guys out there think of that, but I've heard a lot of people say they do things like that, or they do something fermented like yogurt and stuff, which is, I mean, it's still carnivore technically. I mean, it's like it's coming from an animal if you drink cream, but a lot of people are finding that, it helps their digestion or whatever. It's like it's anecdotal, but I don't know. It's just funny because anytime there's any kind of veering off or whatever, people are freaking out left and right. So there's a lot of people like getting upset about it. And Bart K did like eviscerated in a video.
it.
And he still said, somehow, I still love you, man. But like he's, ripping them apart. And I thought that was just so much fun, like to watch. I love it when there's a lot of just lively discussions, you know what I mean, in the carnivore community. So that was very interesting to watch all of that,
Mm. Yeah, I
But
think that lively discussion is good.
mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
interesting to watch too, and the problem is like as a microbiologist, so this is my wheelhouse, is that like if you have, and I did a video like comment, I was like, okay, you can have Clostridium difficile, which is like a gram-positive anaerobe, like rot or whatever, in your colon, and you can get very sick. It's pathogen, make you sick. At the same time, if you wipe it all out, you're going to get very sick because you can't wipe out
mm,
your normal flora. So you have this world where, and then the rest of it's like the universe, like nobody really knows that much about it. But you have people that claim they do, and the problem is that there's something to it, definitely. But like a lot of people, if you have to test yourself and see, you try things out to see what it does for you, because everybody's different, I think. But
mm.
a lot of people try to take it as a prescription,
Right. Yeah. I kind of I think probably we're similar in that I feel if it works for you,
Mhm.
then have at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because I always feel like when people say, "Oh, if you eat a bit of fermented cabbage,
Mhm,
you're not carnivore," and
mhm,
it's kind of I feel like,
mm.
well, I shouldn't say anything because I drink coffee and like
Exactly.
everyone's gonna jump on me.
And that is dirty bean juice, so it's like and I drink it too. So I can't, and I drink, what is it? Dirty bath water, which is like tea. So I
Uh-huh.
do that too. And, it just depends on the person because we're all these whole different like systems just because you have different health, you've been eating different things, you're different
Mm.
ages, you're different, you have different, our hardwiring. Like my sister who looked at a piece of cheesecake and gained 20 pounds where I could eat anything. That's differences in how human beings are made, how they come out of the womb. So it's like you have early on, you have those differences. There's a lot of differences. Now, I still, I'm a Chafeite, you know, glory be to him, the extra ruminant. But I actually still worship at the altar of Chafee, and I believe plants are trying to kill you, and I avoid plants
Mm.
at all cost. But
Yeah.
one thing interesting I can say is that I actually, okay, I did a bad thing. Like I was cooking dinner and I don't ever do this. Like I cook the crap for everybody that they want. And then I have a standby standard American dieter to taste test stuff. I didn't have anybody to taste test anything. So I'm like licking spoons and because you got to taste it because I'm going to oversalt the crap out of stuff or I'm going to ruin it.
Uh,
I'm like, I gotta taste it. And then most of the time I'll spit it out, like, because I don't want to eat anything, all the stuff that I'm making for them. And but I didn't. Like I was just consuming, hand spoonfuls of different crap just to make sure that it was made correctly. And I didn't really enjoy it either. That's the sad
mm,
part because I got a lot of crap about this. Like, because after I prepared the meals, a couple of hours later, and that's the only thing. I mean, I normally just eat meat and everything. And a couple of hours later, I hurt. Oh, yes, I'll hail. I'll hail in the chat. So a couple of hours later, I hurt so bad everywhere in
mm,
my body. I experienced like all of this pain. And I was actually glad that I had done that because it reminds you of what we used to live with before a lot of us, before we went carnivore and we got rid of all that pain because it was so jarring to actually experience that. And it only took like 2, 3 hours. Now it
mm,
didn't last too terribly long, like it was gone by in the morning, but that was weird. Like, because normally I don't do that. I don't even, I don't want to put anything in my mouth or nothing like that. But I was in a hurry and there was nobody at the house because everybody had gone over. And then I was expecting a crowd. So I was like speeding through or whatever. And just that amount of stuff. And it wasn't a tremendous amount, but it affected me. Like, so I'm not a person who's going to be eating sauerkraut. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like the yogurt, like I don't think that would harm me in any way. You know what I mean? Because you're getting the
mm.
microbes or whatever. And it has a lot to do with what do you have in your microbiome? Like, what does your microbiome look like? I mean, nobody, like I said, it's like the universe. Some people have wrecked theirs, just from history. Some people, I mean, it's fine and you don't need it or whatever. I'll probably do something like that as an experiment, but I'm not going to eat vegetables. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, same.
Yeah, I would no longer be, the cult leader in that case. I mean, I'd be ejected like immediately. So
Yeah, for me, it all comes down to like it's just. I mean, I don't want to go back to craving carbs all the time, but
Well, that
also
too.
it's
Yeah, that
just so
too.
much preparation and panicking
Mhm.
and worrying about the stuff and like, "Oh, I've
Yep.
got to chop this on. This has gone bad. I have to go and buy
Mhm.
something." It's
Mhm.
just not worth it.
Yep.
Okay, so relationship expert Ben, are they going to address the questions? Yes, we will.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Yeah,
yapping.
yeah, so far there is only one question, and that is your views on the potato McDougal starch-based diet. Starch is basically going to be sugar, so my opinion is stay away.
Mhm.
Liz, how about you?
Well, I think you were on my channel asking that question. To me, I believe it was you. Someone asked me about this McDougal person. I don't know anything about this individual, and I didn't read. I'll look up something, if I don't know about it. But I'm gonna say that I think they mentioned something about people existing on nothing but potatoes and someone wrote literature to say that they has everything they need. It does not. I can the one thing I can tell you is that potatoes alone do not have everything that you need, like, long term.
Mm.
Now, I look at that as starvation food. Like, grains used to be, in times of famine, like, cultures would stockpile grains and things. That's starvation food. Now, that's a different situation, and I believe they did, if you look at potatoes, it's kinda like a starvation food, but, that's different than being something that you can just live off of, which I guess was the question. So no, I don't believe, based on what I know about what's, the nutrient profile, you know.
Mm, mm, mm,
So yeah, and it's a lot of starch. Like I avoid potatoes like the plague because potatoes start that craving cycle that you were
mm.
talking about with me.
Yeah, like, there's nothing that I could eat more of that would make me feel like I hadn't eaten enough and would also
Mm,
make me feel as bloated at the same
mhm.
time as mashed potatoes.
Yeah, yeah, it would make
Like
me feel I can't even imagine how bad I would feel. I didn't make that, that's something I did not taste test, but,
mm.
because it's too, like, I would not have put that in my mouth, like, that regardless, it would just have to taste crappy, I would have had to just over-season it or something because it's just, that's just awful, but another thing about this, it says the diet, I mean, is this a diet? I have seen that if you eat there are carb diets, like, if you eat exclusively something like that, like you're only eating that or something like to lose weight. I know people have done that. I've seen that before. So,
Mm,
but I don't know if this is a diet or if somebody's telling people to live off potatoes forever. I
mm,
don't know what the difference is.
yeah. Um, okay. Let me just, okay, and Dean's just commenting here based on, when we were talking about the some people having fermented foods and all that kind of thing. I don't care if it's carnivore or not. I don't care if you eat whatever, but idiots saying something is this and does that can't be proven. That's the problem. Well, I mean, that's the thing.
Mhm,
No one really knows anything, right?
mhm,
So, when people talk in absolutes, that's part of the issue,
mhm.
right?
Well, there's some things we do know, but it's
Mm,
like stuff we've known for a very long time about like nutrient density. Like we can examine the nutrient density of a food. We know that you die if you eat only protein. That's called rabbit starvation. Like if you lived in the woods and you could only eat rabbits, like you would be you'd get very sick. So I
mm,
mean, that kind of there's a lot of things like that we do know and is established. The problem, like you're saying, is that there's people talking about like mysterious things and going, it's this, it's that. You have to do this and this much, and here's a product I can sell you. That's the problem. Is that when you don't know, you don't know. And like I agree with Bart K, you can't experiment on human beings. So that's the problem with the studies, is
mm,
that
mm,
you
mm.
cannot experiment. If you're locking them up, I mean, you're going to end up getting in really big trouble for that, so you can't control the variables. So, you know,
Yeah. And just on the potatoes, Dustin is saying, I know Penn from
mhm.
Penn and Teller lost a
Yep,
lot of weight eating just potatoes, no fat, no salt, just boiled or baked potatoes and water. I think he did that for a year. Can you imagine a year of nothing but
that
boiled
would
or baked
suck.
potatoes?
And I saw him, he did do that, and that's the interesting thing about just weight loss, not health, but
Mm,
weight loss is a completely different kind of bucket if you're looking at weight loss. I've seen, people do all sugar and lose weight, but,
mm,
like, refined sugar. Ugh, I mean, I can't even imagine, like, I would be in the hospital if I tried to do that, but, people have tried just all sugar and have lost weight, and then people have, done the, potatoes, weird things like that where you're only eating one of the groups, like you're not mixing carbs and fat and
uh,
protein, you're eating one or the other. Like, look at rabbit starvation, it's only protein, you cannot have any fat with it. So if you're eating primarily or 99% like protein, you'll lose weight.
mm,
Same thing with sugar, so but it's not something that's conducive to health at all.
right, right. Okay, we've got another question here From relationship expert Ben, Mike Mintzer preached a lot of science, just like McDougall, on the importance of carbs. Will you both look into their work? Because many people are highly satiated with potatoes, not hungry at all. Mm,
Well, I bet you would be if all you're eating is potatoes, because 'cause you're just gonna be eating them, a number of times a day. I forgot how many times a day he ate potatoes, the Penn and Teller guy.
mm,
I don't know if you remember that, but, satiation, I don't like that's like that's a like a part of it, you know what I mean? Like, being
mm, mm,
satiated
mm,
is a
mm, mm,
part of a whole system. So, if I ate I would wanna vomit, to be honest. Like, if I ate potatoes all day long, like, or if I ate, like, 3 times a day potatoes, even if I was losing weight on it, like, I wouldn't wanna eat anything, to be honest, because I would be sick. Like,
mm.
me personally, it would make me sick to eat that much starch, and um, I wouldn't feel good at all. So I don't know if you'd call it satiated, but I wouldn't wanna eat anything. I wouldn't be hungry for anything. Can you imagine, like, if you just imagine, Dave, like, eating potatoes all day? Like, what
Yeah, I kind of, not, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I
and
mean,
that says something to it if you're eating something that was good for you and you know what I'm saying? If I know that it would make me sick, it would make me physically ill to do that, and then not on you've got fiber issue and all that kind of stuff,
mm.
but
So, yeah, the thing for me, I'll just take that off so I can see your face while I'm talking to you.
yeah, I'm all
Um,
sinking down in my
so
chair.
so, the thing for me is if you said to me, "You can only eat ground beef for the rest of your life, or you can only eat steak for the rest of your life," I'm not gonna be panicking about that because I know
Mm-mm,
once I eat that, I feel satiated, and I don't feel like I'm not shaking like I need to eat
mhm,
something or whatever, you know? But that's how you would feel after eating potatoes.
mm.
Like, if you were
I
just eating potatoes, you would be feeling like, "I'm missing something here."
Yeah, it would feel wrong to
Yeah.
me. Like, so when I eat meat, and that's the thing, when I actually got rid of my conditions by eating meat only, I felt for the first time after I ate that everything was right, and that I didn't want for anything else. And
Mm.
it was amazing to me that I didn't crave anything and I didn't want anything. And I was just completely, it was satiation, but it goes a little deeper than that. And then the health that comes with it, the energy and the focus and everything else that I got from it was so, I mean, big time earth shattering. So change, and I had tried all of the different little diets. Like, you remember the cabbage diet?
Yeah.
The
That sounded
cabbage
like
diet.
that sounded like such a good idea at the time,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
I used to like eating cabbage and it used to taste good and everything, but, oh my god, like that you talk about poop charts. I'm just
Well,
saying.
I mean, the fact that it has a particular kind of smell when it's boiled as well
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
it signifies that it's also going to, have a kind of poop chart effect afterwards.
Be a little pungent later, yeah, so
Right.
that didn't work out, but,
Yeah.
it just felt right after I started eating, because I didn't eat enough meat, I really didn't in the past. Like, I ate meat, but, like a good American, I ate, all of my hundreds
Lean.
of carbs. Yeah, hundreds of carbs a day,
Right,
and lean.
right.
Yeah, and lean, so I didn't get the fat, but
That's when I first started, Atkins over 2 decades ago, that was part of the problem there. Why
mhm,
on Atkins I was constantly eating was because I didn't at that point, didn't really appreciate the amount of fat that you
mhm.
needed to eat. And so I'm eating, like, chicken breast all the
Yep,
time,
I did the
and,
same
like,
thing.
sliced turkey and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm,
And I'm like, feel great, but why do I
mhm,
feel hungry all the time?
mhm.
And that was why.
Yeah, the fat was one of the most critical components that we needed, but we had been brainwashed not to. I had been brainwashed in the 90s. You'd like, "No, no, animal fat is bad," everything was lean,
Mm, mm,
but
yeah. Um, and Dustin is just saying here, I wish we could get away from the idea that weight loss equals health. Well, yeah, right.
Mhm.
mean, and that's what a lot of people will say. You don't lose weight to get healthy, you get healthy to
Mm.
lose weight, right?
Yeah,
Is that
and
the
the
other way
thing, the
around?
problem is you've got the vanity part. So, and even I'm guilty of this as well, like because I had a goal weight in mind, but I was never at I was never where my body wanted to be. I was always in deprivation because I used to years ago, I used to model and stuff like that, and so you have to keep up with everybody else, and, even though I didn't have trouble doing that, I mean, I was really rail thin forever, but even later, like, when I had to think about stuff like that, like, you're always wanting to be emaciated looking kinda in that industry, and beauty standards, are what they are. They
Mm,
come and they go or whatever. But a lot of times, like now, the thins back in. I don't know if you guys know that, but like there for a while, it was everybody was like women were supposed to be bigger, like plumper,
mm.
and that was kind of the trend. And then and the big, the big giant rear ends and everything, like they're getting butt implants and all that
Ah,
kind
okay.
of, and that to me, I'm like, wow, that just I don't see how anybody can think that's attractive. I'll take Twiggy over that any day, right? So, you had all these different trends of people are gaining weight and being bigger is better and then all this kind of stuff. But now it's reversed. Like the trend has reversed. And you know why it's reversed is because everybody's shooting up. Everybody's doing Ozempic because Ozempic is like reduced
Mm,
in price even now, or I think it's already been reduced in price, so it's cheaper. So everybody's doing it, and
mm.
everybody looks sick. They really look sick, and that's the thing is like you get to a weight, and people have abandoned carnivore and said, "Well, I just didn't get to my weight loss goals," and they were like at a perfectly healthy weight. They looked fine,
Mm.
but for a magazine cover, they didn't. Like, if they did Ozempic, they could get, super, super skinny. That is
Uh,
a different thing. That's vanity. It has nothing to do with health. So,
right.
yeah, that's two different things, apples and oranges.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But just on the Ozempic thing, the thing that I found most funny, and this is kind of reiterating a little bit what you said, is just that healthy at any size, healthy at any
Uh-huh.
size, and
Mm.
having like obese people on the front of
Yep.
magazines and all that kind of thing. And now suddenly no one's talking about
Mhm.
healthy at any
Mhm.
size anymore.
Mhm.
And it's
You know
almost
why?
like
Mhm.
that wasn't really what it was about. It was an
No.
excuse to say,
Mhm.
well, I just can't do anything
Mhm.
about my weight. But now we have Ozempic.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the F Your Beauty Standards, campaign, the F Your Beauty Standards because all of these giant, people that are on freaking magazine covers that nobody wanna look at because, I mean, nobody wants to look at anybody that's sick, and that is the thing is if you are morbidly obese, you're sick, okay?
Mm,
And human nature is not to be gravitating towards sickness. That's the thing. If you are or if you are skinny, you don't want to almost said it. You don't want you're not going to gravitate towards that. And that goes back to human nature and I don't know it's the mating in our DNA kind of thing. You know what I mean? It
mm,
goes
mm,
to our
mm,
DNA,
mm.
what we find, survival of fittest kind of thing. So, but people didn't want to do what they needed to do, or they didn't want to
Right.
try to do the work. So it's like, well, we'll just say that this is good and we'll make it come into existence because we want it or something, wish in one
Right.
hand and crap in the other and see which one gets full first. But all of a sudden we can get a shot and it makes us look emaciated. But the
Yeah.
health impact of that is going to be catastrophic long term. I mean,
Right.
I can guarantee that.
Yeah. Dustin's making the point there were women who were plus size heroes that lost weight and they were shamed for
Mhm,
losing weight. Yeah. Like
mhm.
one of I wasn't really following kind of pop culture, I
Lizzo's
don't
one
know,
of them, I
10
think.
years ago, but there was who was that British singer that she was quite big and she lost weight naturally, like before Ozempic came in, and like everyone suddenly started hating on her.
She did something screaming at the rain or it was some kind of popular song about rain, and I can't remember her name. I didn't
Yeah,
listen. I knew who she is or whatever, but I can't remember
yeah,
her
yeah.
name.
It's just like that, and that was awful. It's like she's doing this for her health more than anything. Like, it's not like she
Mm,
lost weight and became like, as you mentioned before, skinny, skinny.
mm. Yeah.
You know, she was doing it for her health.
Mhm.
That's it, Adele.
Adele, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And like everyone just turned on her. It's like,
mhm.
you're out of the
Yeah,
club. You're out of the
mhm.
club now. You're not supporting us.
Yep, yep, and then you had, well, it's funny because well, it's not funny, but it's like you have the, I don't know if you um, mukbangers.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so the mukbang community is no more. Like, well, one of the reasons is that you can't you for a YouTube perspective, like they don't allow you to do that anymore. I'm pretty sure. Like you're
Oh,
not allowed to like, which I mean, you know, that's disgusting. It's like, and I understand it originated in like North Korea or somewhere like that, like
I think
wherever.
that's yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it got really big, and then so did like Foodie Beauty and all of these people, you know, the plus size, the people who were just kind of like they took mukbang into like duck
Duck
bang.
bang.
Rick's here. We got duck comments. Yay. But yeah, so you have these people who were just morbidly obese and they have like vlogs, like, and so they
Mm,
talk about what they eat in their life and paying their rent and all kind of weird stuff. And it's like that's going by the wayside because a lot of them, there was, I think, either 4 or 5 major ones that died in the past two
mm,
years. I mean, they died in their 30s because
right.
that's, you know, the kind of thing that happens if you just don't care, you know.
Yeah. I've watched a few kind of reaction videos to that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, when they're reacting to it, I'm just looking at that thinking, "This is something I could never have been a viewer of, like these mukbangs," right? Because
Mhm.
watching someone just ramming food into their face is
Mhm.
bad enough,
Mhm.
but the associated sounds that come along with that,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
someone
Mm.
crunching and
Mhm.
slurping and then licking their fingers and that kind of, I'm
Mhm.
just like, "No way. There's
Well,
no
that's
way I
part
could
of
watch
the
that stuff."
experience, Dave. See, that's part of
Oh,
what they're watching for is the ASMR, like, aspect to it, but it's just, like, disgusting, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
no, it's
So
horrible, but Nikocado Avocado, like, actually lost a tremendous amount of weight. Like, he started out skinny, and he was
mm,
playing the violin and stuff, and then he just turned into this giant person that was just shoving food down their face. I mean, what it was that? Like, first of all, mentally, like, what's going on there? You know, I know people want clicks, but dang, you know. And then now he's back to the size I think he was when he started. But
right, and I've seen reactions to that video when he came out. I think he was wearing, like, the
mhm.
panda hat or something, and he took it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And he kinda talks like a Batman villain or something. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
He's
"I
weird.
had this planned," but
Mhm.
apparently, he had pre-filmed so many of his videos where he was doing that, like,
Mhm.
being obese and
Mhm.
eating that way for a long time,
Mhm.
and then spent 2 years getting the weight off or something. It's kind of weird.
I think he planned, um I think he planned out some of his content. Now, I don't know how much, like, I don't know what to believe, like, when you're actually watching him, but, I know he planned out some of it and
Mm,
planned this for, like, content purposes, I believe. So, I don't
right.
know. I don't follow him or anything, but I did kinda, read up on that, but
Yeah.
it was interesting. But, I mean, it's good that he lost all of that. I don't know how he lost it, but it's good that he did lose all of that weight. Now the people, you know, the thing is the people who are like shooting up with all of these GLP
Mm,
agonists like
mm,
drugs and stuff, it's like I think that you down the road, that's going to be a very interesting conversation, and it's probably come back in because a lot of people who actually lose weight that way when they stop the drug, it comes back like
mm, mm,
times
mm.
10, like worse than it ever did before. So That
Yeah.
should be kind of horrifying. I feel very sorry
Mhm.
for people who do that and then they end up getting it back, because they believe they're doctors, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of mukbanging and the consequences of that, Robert Kimball has a question. What's the highest A1C you've heard of? I think in my interviews, the highest I've heard of is kind of 11 point something.
Yeah, that sounds. I've heard that before. A lot of times you hear about nines,
Mm.
but yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say out of when you hear the high ones, probably 9 is kind of the most common, the
Hmm.
most common one you hear from people.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Any other? Okay. Hang on. I missed something here. I meant to go back. Yeah, sorry. A question here from Zanderville. Sorry, I've took a long time to get to this question. Can you cleanse yourself of microplastics? If, then how? I'm not sure.
I
Liz.
don't. I don't believe anybody has determined a way to do that, as far as I know. I had stopped. I was drinking those pods, the little plastic Keurig pods,
Not
like when
not
I got
Tide
coffee.
Pods. Not
Not
Tide
Tide
Pods.
Pods, yeah, the Keurig pods, coffee pods or whatever, and I stopped doing that and got a stainless steel one because I know it is showing up, and we got a lot of stuff in the environment that's causing us problems. That we can't avoid. This you can try to avoid it, and in your food and things you eat and stuff like that, like heating stuff up in plastic and just trying to avoid it that way as far as what you eat. But there's nanoplastics in the like in the air, from what I understand, and some of the
Mm,
pollution. And I mean, it's awful. So I
mm,
mean, as far as I know, I've not heard of anything that you can do
right.
to get rid of that. But
Yeah. Um, just back on the mukbanging and stuff. Dustin said I had a lady sit down with me, sit down on a live with me. She talked about the feederism community. People send money to women knowing they will overeat, and then they
hmm
often want videos of it. That oh, that's terrible.
yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, that's really that people can get off on that kind of thing is just yeah.
Hmm.
So Robert's just following up on the question about what's the highest A1C you've ever seen. 13.1 was Robert's
Hmm.
A1C. Wow. So what is it now, Robert? How are you doing? Um, yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
And did you get the what
whoops.
fructosamine done? Did you get a
Uh,
fructosamine test?
mm,
I'd be interested to hear what that was.
yeah. Um, okay. Bacon Runner. My A1C as of this month is 4.9, but I have never been diabetic and had to ask for the test. 4.9 is awesome. Um, anything here? Did you see the municipal water? Okay. WD25A. Whenever I see WD at the start of the username, I feel like saying WD40. Sorry about that. You guys think Bart K was a little too heavy-handed on poor Kerry for the heinous betrayal of poor Carnivore for drinking a tiny amount of Dr. Amaro sauerkraut brine and saying this helped him poop? I didn't see it.
Bart K, like he was eviscerating him. I mean, if like enough about Bart K, like he's kind of got a persona thing going, you know what I mean? I mean, I do, as a scientist, I respect his according to, what does he always say? According to who and on the basis of what? You know what I mean? Because we don't know a lot. Like Carrie, one of the things he did was he had that woman who was talking about, oh, your microbiome had this huge die off. We don't know that, and the things a
Mm,
microbiome expert, what is that? You know what I mean? So he had some valid points, I think he brought up. But yeah, I mean, he sounds like uh he sounds brutal anytime he does anything. So I don't pay attention to that. But he kept saying, Carrie, I love you, da, 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 that kind of thing or whatever. But I think that's like his style. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, he was a little hard on him. To me, it's like he was trying something, and I don't know. Like if you have really bad digestion, like I don't. I mean, I think it's to me the reason I would say, and this is not because I have any studies or anything, but as a microbiologist, I know you can have some bad actors in there that cause you to get very sick. But if you have wiped out microbiome or one that's messed up, it can be messed up. We know that. Then you can have digestive troubles. So
Mm.
we don't know. It's like that's what all this prebiotics, probiotics that they're selling you, most of it, a lot of it dies in the stomach and all this kind of stuff. Like there's some formulations they do that where it works better, but I mean, you have to try it for yourself. It's very personalized. So, I mean, if he's saying he tried it and he liked it, now Sean O'Mara, like when it comes to a poop chart, it's like I agree with Bart K. I'm like, what? Like that is the authority again. Telling it's like the only reason I know that poop is tapered on both ends is just because that's so your asshole doesn't slam shut. But outside of that, I'm like, like that's all I'm gonna say, right? It's like that's all I know. Okay, so I don't, when you're looking at poop and the size and that's an authoritarian thing, right? That's like authoritative thing. This is the norm. This is what your poo is supposed to look like. It's like, come on, like where did that come from? How'd you figure that one out? How did that become law? It's
Yeah.
like
Who
kind of
was the
silly,
person that did that investigation and the surveys on
exactly. Yeah,
that?
exactly. So and he was mocking that a little bit because I mean, again, like but I am of the opinion, like I'm in the same camp as far as you can't study humans, right? We can know things, and there's a lot of things we know, but there's so much we don't know. And there's a lot of people who claim to understand things fully, and they're doing it blanket wise, like especially microbiome. It's very personal. You know what I mean? It's like a very
Mm.
individualized thing. And to say, well, start eating this. Now, if you come across and say, hey, I did this thing and it helped me, and then there's a lot of people that say that the fermented, like I hear the yogurt stuff and like if you drank the brine or something like that, that they say it helps their digestion. It probably has something to do with the microbiome because that's what's in there, and so it depends on you and you trying things. So the only thing I would say for Bart K is that I think he can take that approach sometimes to say, hey, look, we don't know. That means he doesn't know. That means nobody knows. So
Mhm.
it's like, if you don't
Mm, mm,
know,
mm.
try it, whatever. Who cares, Now, if you know that
And
cabbage hurts you, like, no, you wouldn't want to do that, but that's different,
mm.
you
And,
know?
if you follow Bart on X, that's basically the way he approaches, what he's responding to all the doctors and
Mhm.
experts on there, It's like
Mhm.
there's no evidence,
Mhm. No.
and that kind of thing. Yeah.
And you
Um,
can't experiment on human beings.
mm, yeah. Yeah. Rick had a couple of interesting comments. Um, all I care about poop is how much gas it makes. And then he said, "Did you see the comment about pooping being like an orgasm?"
Oh my God, yes, in my video, I had so much fun with that. Oh my God. Like, no, I didn't put anything in. I didn't put a clip in or anything, but like, that was just, I mean, I was just like, dude, really, And I will say he did say that's what it's supposed to feel like. And I feel very bad, for him because what do you think that should feel like you've been doing it wrong? But outside of that, it's like I think that he did say something valid. He did say something valid related to that. He goes, well, it should be so automatic that it should be very quick.
Uh,
I'm like, I suspect he's probably right about that. Like,
mm.
if you have to struggle, something's up, something's wrong with your pipes. You know what I mean? Like something's going on there. But the orgasm thing, yeah. I don't even know what to say. And Dave's like,
I'm
"What on
just
earth was in that
I
video?" He's like,
yeah,
"What did you watch?"
as I say, I haven't seen the video, so I'm not sure of the
Yeah.
context, but that just makes me feel like, um When Harry Met Sally, and someone saying to
And
Sally, "I'll have what she's having," or maybe
yeah,
she needs to be shown where the bathroom is.
yeah.
So,
Oh
uh,
my God, that's funny.
Phil Greeley, how does the microbiome affect the production of neurotransmitters? How does it change once the gut bacteria adapts from a standard diet to carnivore, for instance? I have no idea, Liz.
It has there. It is believed that it has a lot to do with neurotransmitters.
Mm,
A healthy biome, and I can't get into the science because it's like not right in front of me. I'd have to reference it again. I do know there's something to that, but I also know nobody knows. They
mm,
really don't know. It's like the universe. And like I said, everybody has, but there is some science. People have looked into like the function of, gut bacteria. And I know that healthy having, the function of neurotransmission like is in there with all of that. So that's not made up. Like somebody didn't just say, oh, it has, a healthy microbiome can help with this. Like that, somebody didn't make it up. It's true, but I can't remember exactly what the function is. Like, the whole mapping it out. But even given that, even if they know that much, because like I said, they know things, they know, they figured some stuff out. But as far as, what it exactly is supposed to look like, again, it's very personal for each person. It's very individual to each person, if that makes sense. But
mm,
I do know that it has something to do with that. But
mm.
I don't know outside of that, the details.
So,
But I do know, I'll add one
uh,
thing to that, is that I know that carbs, like if you eat excessive amounts of carbs, I've seen people have trouble with their gut microbiomes, or complain of like, when you actually plate, if you're actually growing the bacteria that grow poop, basically, um, you change from a standard American diet to a carnivore diet, it changes. Like you can see that it changes. So, and usually, I mean, I've heard, and Dave, if you've heard, like for the better, like, you know what I
mm,
mean? People have less digestive problems. So I do know
yeah.
there's change there, but outside of that, I can't really.
Mm. Um, Robert, who had mentioned his A1C was above 13 before, it's now down to 6.8 from March to December 15. That's awesome.
Wow. Hmm.
Keep it up. That's really good. Nice. Um, okay. Marina. Merry Christmas, Dave and Liz. Liz, what kind of supplements do you take or recommend? Even better, could you make a video about it? I'm 57 and have been on the carnivore diet for 4 months. Strict lion.
Merry Christmas. I do iodine, nascent iodine, because it's something that the cows or whatever that are eating the grass, like they have less of it because the soil is like stripped of it. Because where I live, I need it. So I take nascent iodine, but it just depends on like where you live and what your access to, what you're eating on your diet and that kind of thing. So,
Mm, mm,
but I've been doing that since 2014. My thyroid was wrecked, and it was because I was bromine toxic. I was absorbing, with standard American diet, you're eating bromine constantly, and it's a halogen. So your body doesn't have the iodine because everything's, like stripped of iodine, like the soil, and we have soil
mm,
problems in this country. And so the bromine, it just goes, oh, well, that looks like an iodine molecule because they're similar. They're all halogens, and you end up running on bad gas, is the way I like to term it. And my thyroid was in the gutter, and I was like, I know what it is. Like, I don't get proper source of iodine. I started it, and in 2 months, fixed my thyroid, and my doctor pissed my doctor off. So she really wanted me to try that synthetic thyroid hormone, but I didn't need to.
oh,
And it,
wow.
even before carnivore, like I had fixed my thyroid that way. So
Mm. It's never a good sign when your doctor's unhappy that they
yeah,
can't give you give you
I
some kind of
hated that
medication.
woman. Hated that woman. Like she was mad every time, and I did this a couple of times. Like it was a couple of different things that I did to,
Mm, mm,
change my uh, you know, physical condition, and she didn't like it when I was right. So,
Mm, yeah. There's a little bit too much ego involved as
mhm.
well, right?
I was
It's like,
cracking her paradigm, I guess. I don't know, you know?
yeah. How dare you question my advice? I've
Mhm.
spent a lot of money and gone into debt for this education that I'm
Yep.
busy imparting to you.
Mhm.
um, okay, Burns Aquatics. Hey Dave, one of your interviews mentioned casomorphines in cheese. It explained why I ate blocks of cheese, trying to cut down now.
Mhm.
Nice work.
Yeah. That's where the like, it's casomorphins, like, morphine, like, I think the base word is like, it is addictive, literally addictive.
Mm, mm. Um, okay, Frank, Dave, did you not have a live yesterday with Coach Stephen? We had one scheduled. I had to cancel it because I had something to do with family come up. So we'll be getting back together the following week. Yeah, it's just my schedule didn't didn't align suddenly. Um, okay. Carnivore run weight loss. How many days in a row would you recommend a fat fast?
Mm.
What's a fat fast? Like just eating butter?
Just eating only fat, essentially. Like, you
Mm,
can eat, egg yolk, like, you can do this latte where you kind of take egg yolks, and heavy cream, I think, and
mm,
butter. No, not heavy cream, but butter and egg yolks, and put hot water in it, and you can make that, and you can, eat
mm,
fat off the steaks and butter. Now, I did one for a week almost. I think it was a week. It was like 4 or 5 days, and I was trying to lose the last 10 pounds to get to my goal weight. It worked great for that, and I wasn't hungry or anything, but, it's easier if you can find a good butcher. I can't find a good butcher around here. Like, I need the fat trimmings, like, off of a ribeye. It's hard to get that, so and you can't eat a lot of protein, it'll ruin a fat fast. If you eat too much protein, it has to be exclusively, like I was talking before, if you exclusively were to eat potatoes, like, people lose weight. Exclusively eat fat, you lose weight. Now, it's not something you do forever, but I think I did 4 or 5 days, but that's just me. So it depends on, what you're used to, and, what your diet's like, and what makes you feel good. But and it made me feel phenomenal. My ketones were through the roof.
You felt good at the end of that 4 or
Oh,
5
oh
days?
my god, yeah, and I coulda kept going, but the thing is, like, after a while, I mean, you don't need to just avoid protein, like, you definitely need protein too, so it's not
Mm,
something you just do forever, because we're not supposed to live on only fat. We're
right,
supposed to
right.
be, because there's vitamins and minerals and things that we need that, are in both, and fat and the muscle meat. So,
Mm,
but
mm,
it made me, I feel great. I mean, I felt great. My ketones got up to 6, which is
right.
nuts. That's, crazy town banana pants, that's high. And they were like, because I get, like, animated, like, my eyes are big, and I'm like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," and so at work, they're like, "We're not gonna allow you to drink coffee anymore." I was like, "It's not coffee." They're like, "Well, I don't know what it is, but if it's not coffee," because I just was, on overdrive the whole time. It was an amazing feeling, but,
Right.
yeah, but I bet you it's not something you do for too long.
Mm, mm. Wow. Okay, thank you, Ron. Let me see if I've missed any questions here. Um, I think I got them all. Oh my goodness. So we got a few minutes, guys. Any questions? Chuck them in, and we'll get to them. So, what are your plans for the new year, Liz?
Well, I'm not making any food, that's for sure. I've done my time,
Mukbang videos and
Listen to some smacking, yeah. Um, no, I think I'll pass on that, but I don't think they allow them anymore. Honestly, I really think YouTube's gotten, I think their terms of service said that you can't do them anymore. Um,
right,
Not
right.
sure on that, but that's not a bad thing, I don't think. But,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just gonna be, I'm not a big New Year's person anymore, now that, I don't drink.
Right.
It's kind of like, yeah, everybody'd have to be wasted to like enjoy that. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the
Yeah.
typical things that you're being invited to, it's like, yeah, I'd have to be wasted to kind of be dealing with that.
Yeah, I
But
think staying up until midnight for the countdown and whatever, like
mhm.
with a cup of coffee or something, is kind of it doesn't really do it, right? So,
Yeah, it's not
um,
the same, you know.
yeah, I'm kind of similar. Like, and in Japan, they don't really have that kind of more, I guess,
Mhm.
Western idea of like waiting for the countdown and drinking and all
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Like most
Mhm.
people are in bed early and waking up to see the first sunrise of the year or something like that, you know?
I think that's way more meaningful to me. Like, that sounds like a much better idea, to be honest. And I was looking at Japan, like, the way when you describe Japan, I'm like, man, they are down to business over there. Everything's, like, serious and which is that's in a good way, I think, because,
Mm,
yeah, I mean, we just use it as an excuse to drink and eat a bunch of stuff. I mean, that's all we're doing, really. I mean, to be
right,
honest. And then everybody does their New Year's resolution because everybody's, like, losing weight. All the exercise equipment hits the stores every
right,
year right about this time. It's like, "Oh, now it's time to stop." Because the mentality is, "Oh, well, I'll go on a diet, or I'll change my diet, or I'll change my life. I'll do something healthy on Monday." That's the on Monday version of next year, but it's
right.
next year, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions because it's like that
mm-mm.
thing, I'll start after the weekend. I'll
Mhm.
start after
Yep.
the whatever.
Mhm.
And the likelihood is for most people that's never gonna
Yeah.
happen, you know?
Because if you ever say that, that means that you don't mean it. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Because if it's not something you would do immediately, like, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's one of those things where it's almost like subconsciously your mind is rewarding you for making the deal with yourself rather
Mhm.
than for actually taking the action,
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
if I think about doing it, then I've achieved all I need to do for today. So yay
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm planning on doing it. It doesn't matter if I do it or not, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Um, yeah, so I've got a last question here from Phil. Can you address the liver functions that shut down to deal with alcohol?
Um, the I know that, I don't really know the mechanisms per se, like, when you I know that it ruins your liver, and I can't recall exactly specifically what shuts the liver down. Well, I like the damage, like, how the damage works. Um, it's been a long time since I've even looked at any of that. Like, if you look at there's alcoholic and, like, non-alcoholic fatty liver,
Mm.
for instance, like, fatty liver, it just doesn't work. I mean, the functions of the liver stop working. They don't it just doesn't function anymore. Like, when you just mutilate it, it just stops working. It stops doing
Just
the things that.
overwhelmed kind of thing, like
Well, it's just damage, you know what I mean?
mm.
It's kinda like, your kidneys, like, if when you are, doing you're eating things or consuming things that are damaging your kidneys, like, people with say you have I don't know, you have a disease or something, and it makes it worse and worse and worse. It's like, and you're consuming something that's causing harm. It's like anything else. I mean, it's just, the tissue is becoming like, it can become necrotic. I mean, all kind of things, like in the liver in particular. If you look at a chart, like, you look at the stages of what the liver looks like in liver disease, like, you've probably seen that graphic where it shows and I don't remember the names for the necrosis, basically, or
Mhm.
and that might not be the right word. I know it was, like, I had a lot of, like, my gallbladder. Okay. My gallbladder was, like, mostly necrotic, like dead tissue.
Mm.
It's an organ that's dying, but specifically, I don't recall, in the liver, like, what the alcohol is actually doing to it, but I know it ruins it. It's actually
Mm, mm,
it's
mm,
damaging the tissue and everything in the function. It can't function anymore. Just like, I don't know, any other organ, you
mm.
know?
Yeah. Um, thank you for your question, Phil. So we're on the hour now. So thank you very much to everyone for joining us. Thank you for your questions and chats. And we
Oh, and I'm
will.
at
Oh, go
one more.
ahead.
I'm going to interrupt you, Dave. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I have 28 subscribers left to get to 3,000. And we
Oh
all know
yeah.
how much we love those even numbers.
Yeah, so head over to Liz's channel, Carnivore Science, and make sure you subscribe. Give it, get those 28 subscriptions in
Mhm.
and or subscribers in, and let's get to 3,000.
And it's
And
before the new year. It's like we're gonna
yeah,
do it before the new year because, we just do things before the new year. That's our
yeah,
milestone, right?
right. Um, yeah, so guys, thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful new year. And let's get to 3,000 subs on Carnivore Science. Cheers, guys. Thanks for
Bye.
joining. Thanks for doing this, Liz.
Thank you.
Cheers.